Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. It is September 6th, so that means it is this sketch right here. So lots of stuff here and up here, and the prompt is fussy cutting. Now I might cheat a little with my fussy cutting and might just fussy cut out some of these cards instead of, really fussy cutting. But I also have some photos from Mission BBQ in Maryland, so let's see what I can do. All right, guys, for this layout, I'm going to go ahead and pick out the couple little things that I want to fussy cut out of the cut apart sheets. And before I do that, I decide I might as well go ahead and get some ink on my page. Now I am going to use a mandala stencil from Scrapping Reflections, and I also grab my Lagoon ink pad and my blender brush, and I am going to have at it. So I'm living on the edge here, people. I am not taping down the stencil whatsoever, and I'm kind of just holding the stencil in place to get the ink through. Now sometimes this works out really great. In this case, it worked out really, really great. I love the way the stencil inking turned out. Sometimes it doesn't turn out so great, you guys. Sometimes it's a mess because you knock your stencil out of the place and you just, you make a mess. So if you're okay with the fact that your stencil might shift, then go ahead and just use your hand. If you are terrified or you have one sheet of this perfect, absolute, gorgeous paper left that you don't want to mess up on, throw yourself some washi tape down on there and you don't have to worry about it. So I go ahead and get that down there on that upper right hand side, and then I decide I need some more on the lower left as well. Now this lower left hand corner already has a pre-printed mandala on it, but you know what? We need more. Now see, here is a time where I knocked that stencil out of place, but it was super easy to get it to line back up and place it down. So I am going to go ahead and ink right on over that. I am not being super careful about my cutting mat underneath of it. My cutting mat is to the point where I need to take it into the kitchen and give it a good scrub. So I was just like, a little extra ink is not going to hurt it whatsoever. So we'll go ahead and get that down. And the pink and that Lagoon color ink on top of it kind of make an orangey bit. And that works for me because I have orangey bits to bring into the layout. So I trimmed that paper down to 11.5 by 11.5, and that way I have 1/4 of an inch of a black mat all the way around my page. Now there is a mat shown on the sketch, which is the reason why I did it. Plus, I really think for this layout, having that black mat around the edge just kind of contains everything into the layout. I did go a little bit more is more on this layout. So that black edge really does help. Now here, watch me fussy cut, guys. I just fussy cut out that guest check. I am going to overlap my photo. Now this is a rarity for me. I don't have photo mats on either of the photos that I have on this layout. I would say 99% of the time I mat my photos. This time I figured I didn't need to because I was going to be using these fussy cut apart sheets. You like how I keep throwing in that fussy cutting of the cut apart, don't ya? See, fussy cutting doesn't have to always be miserable. So now I am actually going to fussy cut the camera out of here. I'm not going to worry about the camera strap. I don't need it. Like, I just don't. It's funny that we put so many cameras on our scrapbook layouts, and most of the time we aren't shooting with a camera. Most of the time we're shooting with our phones. But, it all works out. So I'm also going to cut out this local favorite card. It is rounded edges. I cover up just about all of the rounded edges. So the one little rounded edge that ends up showing on the layout doesn't stress me out. If it did stress you out, you might want to round all of the edges on your paper, or you might want to cut it so it doesn't have a rounded edge. So I'm going to overlap the littler photo over here at the top of the page and then the larger photo here at the bottom. Now I do have this sticker sheet that I pulled out from my stash. It's been in the stash for a little while and I haven't used any stickers on it, so I figured this would be a good time. I'm going to use this border sticker, and I'm going to use it in both places. So I cut it down so that I can actually use it in both places. That is a great way to make your border stickers go a little bit longer. And so they're not just a straight border across the page. Cut them up into pieces and use them in multiple places on your layout. I do use some fun foam to go ahead and pop up the photo and the guest check. And then that is just going to go down here. Now I do cover up a good 90% of the stenciling I did down here on the left hand part of the page. That's not stressing me out. If it did stress you out, you would probably want to use some smaller photos so that you could see that stenciling more. Like I said, I'm not stressed about it. So now I'm going to kind of build up the base of where these photos are. So I popped up that camera. I'm also using this chipboard that says in the neighborhood. Now you might be thinking, why the heck are you using a chipboard that says in the neighborhood? I also use a chipboard later that says in my own backyard. And that is because Mission BBQ, where we used to live in Maryland, was in our backyard, basically. We didn't even have to leave our community to get there, so that was always a fun thing. And then we had gone to Maryland to visit family, and of course we hit up the Mission BBQ. So, I mean, this place is delicious, guys. Like, it is straight up delicious, and their French fries are amazing. Little fun story, when they very first opened up, where they opened up, it was their first store. And they've blown up like gangbusters since then. But we took the kids in and they were little. And we had, ordered some stuff. And the owner came over and he was like, hey, you didn't get any of our French fries. And we were like, no, not this time. And he's like, let me get you some French fries. Can I get you guys some French fries? And we're like, yeah, sure. So he comes over. He drops off this heaping, and I mean heaping plate of French fries. And you guys, they are fantastic. They are fantastic French fries. So that was our fun little story. It was probably more fun for us than it was for me telling you guys, but it was good. It's a fun memory. So now I'm just going to go ahead and keep adding. And this page, definitely more is more. Now, as you can tell while I was telling you my French fry story, I did cover up that hamburger up there on local favorite. And that is because they don't have hamburgers. So I felt like a hamburger on the page just didn't feel right. So I overlapped the two pieces of chipboard and made that happen there. Now I thought I was going to put that red star down and get a little bit of the red around the now let's eat sentiment that I had figured out to put up there, but it's the same exact size, so it doesn't work. I decided that I still want to keep that red on the page, especially because I have that yum banner up there. So I go ahead and put it over here next to the check. Spoiler alert, this arrow does not end up staying on the page. I end up moving it around to a bunch of different places, but nothing feels right, so it eventually goes back onto the sticker sheet. Now I'm just bringing in little bits and pieces. Now, could I have not added all of these little bits and pieces and the layout have been perfectly fine? Yes, I could have. But sometimes I think the little bits and pieces and the little extra details and the more is really what finishes off the page. So this goes from a layout that I like to a layout that I love. Here is that in your own backyard, or in my own backyard, chipboard piece that's going to go there. Of course, I'm using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive because stickers aren't stickers. They're basically... they figured it out. Like, these companies have it figured out. They can get the adhesive to stick to the backing sheets, but as soon as you pull it off the backing sheet, it's like, haha, surprise, your adhesive doesn't adhere anymore. So I wanted to use up these little curly Q arrows. So I struggle with them a little bit. I find them a little bit difficult to use, but I thought, you know what, this layout is going to be the one I use it on. So I end up using all three of them that are left on the sheet, which is amazing because when you clear out sheets and you use up your products, what does that mean, you guys? Yep, that means you can buy more. You either got to get a bigger space or you got to use what you have so you can, get more stuff. And I don't think I'm going to get a bigger space because my room is pretty big as it is. We've come a long way from a little tote where I used to scrapbook on my lap in the bed. So I got to use up what I got. Now I am going to go ahead and add these little Jen Hadfield gold puffy stickers. Again, I say stickers loosely because they don't stick. I do have to add Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to them. Some of it you'll see on the video, some of it you won't. My iPad does stop recording, so you know, you'll get a little bit of a longer voiceover to wrap up the details. So I do use that Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to kind of get that little leaf thing to kind of circle around and hug the edge of that local favorite card. Alright guys, so my iPad storage got full and I did not realize that, and the sucker stopped recording. So let us talk about what I did after it stopped recording. So I added these little pink puffy leaves from the Amy Tangerine Late Afternoon collection. I built those over top of all these little Jen Hadfield gold puffy stickers. And then I almost completely, finally, have finished up these white flowers that I've been working on for over a month. So that feels really good. I placed them each here down with some of my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, of course, and then I did another dollop of the adhesive to put one of my favorite sequins, which are from Brutus Monroe. They're superly gold sparkly sequins. So I did that. I think I also added the title, which is just a simple and barbecue. And then I think that is what I did to finalize everything. I think I did everything else before that. I might have also added this Let's Do This orange chipboard. Now I do have to add my journaling still. I'll add a couple lines here, a couple lines here. There might even be some that goes over here. I'm not sure yet. I'm not exactly sure what I want to say, but I will figure that out. I'm going to add just a little dollop more of glue for that guy right there. Okay, so that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.